Hopkins now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty. Good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go. 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Prescott. Caught left side by Cobb. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Prescott. Looking for his tight end, Witten, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys. Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
That good for 22 at a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Keenum now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Collins. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Geis. Finding room to the 20. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Here's Keenum. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. He was looking for Paul Richardson there. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, you better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And Hopkins' kick is no good. It's wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
So we're going to 52.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 in the Dallas 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this.
And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Ryan Kerrigan with a sack, the former 1st-round pick in 2017.
Check. We're going to 54.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. We're scoreless after 1. Started the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got?
Prescott from the gun. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded, but there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in. But the reason they drafted him, has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they...
Keenum has it knocked away. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. On those sneaks, Charles, so many arms, bodies in there, tough to protect it. You see it there.
And you and I both know that behind closed doors, coaches just call that careless. You know you're going into a mass of bodies, and they're going to be reaching for the football, and you're taught just to get low, protect the ball, and just drive forward and get what little yardage you need. In this case, let the ball get away from his body. It got knocked free.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target. But it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, Prescott. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Switch. There you go, going to 53.
Prescott to throw on 4th. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, let's have some fun while we have a minute here. Fantasy drafts are in full swing. I know I've got my family fantasy draft coming up, Charles. Who would be your top 3 picks? I know that you're a noted fantasy football expert, so who would you take?
Well, you've got to start with guys who are going to touch the football and put it in the end zone, right? You got to score points. How about Saquon Barkley with the Giants? You know he's going to run it. He's going to catch it. When they get desperate, they may actually have him return it as well. Alvin Kamara is an absolute matchup nightmare for everyone. And Christian McCaffrey, did he ever come off the field last year? And, you know, this guy, he's a threat to be a 1,000-yard runner and a 1,000-yard receiver as his...
He's got a man complete. He's at the 40, the 20, 10. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson. 92 yards as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Twist. Here we go, 47. Under 10. Then we're going to 53.
On fourth, they do snap it to Prescott. And he's got his man on the comebacker. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott finding Witten. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Prescott on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. The 40, 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that.
And now here is another interception. He's picked off at his own 46. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Redskins touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up, This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
6 guard. Check 6 guard. Here we go, kill. Check 43. Here we go, go to 54, go to 54. 180.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Intended that time for Cooper, and it's second down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm going to come back to you.
Final play of the half. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here goes the high. Roger. Screen, watch the screen. Watch that.
Here's Geis. 20. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis, 47 yards. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and it is 28-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going.
And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
54. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
Now this time, Keenum will throw. Off to Geis on the screen. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Keenum. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. Champ Bailey, Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson, all part of the class.
Fantastic class. When you talk about guys who played at a top level, obviously they're Hall of Famers. But what I found interesting about it is You've got a great pass catcher, the best pass-catching tight end in history, Tony Gonzalez. How would he like to work against this secondary? Champ Bailey and Ty Law at corner, Ed Reed and Johnny Robinson at safety. Good luck trying to get open against those four. What a matchup that would have been. But it was a terrific night for those gentlemen. Congratulations. And, of course, Ed Reed's bust will go down in history because they got the hair exactly right. And Ed had a ball up there in his Hall of Fame speech.
And remember, next year they're going to celebrate the centennial year of the NFL with a special class of 20. So get ready for those speeches.
I wonder if they'll do it like John.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Jonathan Allen showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion.
And look at this, it's a fake. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a toss. This is Geis. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll run with Love. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Keenum now to throw. He'll take his shot for the end zone. And it is incomplete. Jeff Heath, the strong safety, able to get in there on the coverage. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. A 1st down throw for Prescott. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. He's at the 30, 10, 5. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll run on first down. It's Thompson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down. Keenum going for it on fourth. And this is incomplete. Jay Gruden's guys unable to convert on fourth down. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. Cooper was the intended target.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. He'll have a first down past the 40. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Prescott to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's Elliott. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot.
And it's a fumble. And the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Big D. This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago.